In 1974, German brass rock band Emergency released their fourth and final album, No Compromise, and from it, the title track. I should say the uncompromising title track. That is quite a drum pattern right there. Yeah, I love that break. I hear that steamy, rising synth string, and amid the real slashing, cutting wah guitar, and all that amid the rhythmic figure that I was pointing out. Those horns just like piping through. I was trying to count it. It's such tricky drumming here. Okay, I gotta point out, let's see, the drums are by Todd Canedy, who, yeah, quite the skin guy there, quite the basher, and he has 257 crits according to Discogs. And they seem to go right, and he was 22 when he recorded this. Yeah, more on him in a bit. Oh, that's quite a change of cadence, getting more spacey now, you know, with those, like, you know, electronic sounds. Got so many sounds going on. I mean, you know, those like beaming sounds and that like laser light sounds and that kind of like rising steamy synth underneath it. Some like light, clean guitar scaling notes. Okay, and the saxophone, flute, and mellotron. Yeah, that explains some of what we're hearing. Hanus Berka. Oh, he's actually a Czech-born fellow, yeah, who played on a lot of, I guess, like Czech jazz during the 1960s. Yeah, stuff on like Saxophone and metronome during the 1960s. Yeah, I recognize those. Those are some of the like leading labels and like jazz from the Eastern Bloc of that. And yeah, he played on all the Emergency albums. Our other guy that I just introduced, Todd Canedy, appears to have just begun the year that this was recorded. Interesting. A lot of these members were actually exiled Czech musicians. I guess the original band anyway. Maybe I don't know. I'll see how many of them are still here by this album. Let's go today if you walk home to my house, to my bed, to my I can make you last on my own like a train, just flying. Really thick sound, really dense. Yeah, the drumming just like non-stop, just like filling out beats throughout each bar. Oh, hear that slightly kind of fuzzy guitar that's just like scaling through right there. Some of the instruments are almost like meshing together in this density. the way that the guitar and the sax are just kind of folding into one another. So I'm sorry for the reverb party going on next door. Such a glorious cacophony. Our drummer guy, Todd Canedy, he's actually American born, yeah. Not as many actual Germans in this band as one would imagine. Oh, he can also be heard on that Dieter Reith Knockout album that I covered on here a couple of months ago. Yeah, and some titles by Don Sugarcane Harris. I hear the way that sax is just kind of like squeezing through, and the kind of that slightly distorted organ that we're getting. Actually, maybe I'm hearing like a Fender Rhodes. Oh, so many times. God, there must be like 8 sounds going on at once. There's so. I'm hearing 2 horns. Finally, we've entered like a more obvious more obvious 4/4 section. Yeah, it's just kind of a bluesy progression underlying out, da da na 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 na, like a rising falling fifth. Oh, those drums are so crisp. That snare. I'm really glad that I chose this over Time Will Take It Away. I almost did that one. Their cover of the 2066 and then number. Oh, hear those like loopy synth sounds. Oh God, hear what he's doing with that saxophone. The way he's squeezing the notes out and just letting it blare and. Like one moment he's like laying it kind of below, the next moment he's kind of just like garbling it. That drummer's just like kicking up dust the whole time. Yeah, kicking up pebbles and debris. I can't believe just these 3 instruments. I don't even think that had occurred to me. Just an arrangement of drums, sax, and synthesizer, and they are just like filling up so much sonic space between the 3 of them. That could have gone on for, heck, 10 minutes, and I would have been happy. A hurricane. Oh, how high can that sax go? Oh, what is combining to make that sound? It's like it's almost like a sax, guitar, keyboard kind of sonically molded into one that oh, that warm kind of tubular guitar sound that's coming out of my left speaker now. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think. The way he keeps on putting these like just random fills into each bar, just it accents. It creates like a different accent to each bar, and so it almost doesn't even matter what meter things are actually in. Oh, now they're really in competition with one another. Yeah, that is the guitar work of let's see, electric guitar Frank Diez, and he's an actual German. Yeah, German guitar. Yeah. Between him and Todd Canedy are really dueling it out right now. Yeah, that's a real welcome tone to this kind of music. Yeah, just warm, fuzzy, just oozing and like scaly and that kind of tone that can give you just so much tone, so much like warmth and kind of like fuzzy, like just beauty, both as it kind of like simmers with these like sustains and when it like scales up really fast. The bass line might be more felt than heard. Boom, boom, boom. I'm having a hard time making it up, but I know that it must be moving a lot more than might initially meet the ear. Oh, tell me that this guy did more, 204 credits according to Discogs, and from around this time, he was on the 1970 German Armageddon album. Yeah, German one-off, kind of like bluesy hard rock, if I recall. Not to be confused with the UK-US Armageddon from 1975 with Keith Ralph and members of Steamhammer and Captain Beyond. Yeah. And he was on, it looks like, well, at least 2 of the entrance albums, if not all of them. It's hard to, these Discogs credits are not always, he was on a couple of Atlantis albums, Ingra Rump's first solo album, yeah, a Randy Pye album. I hear him scaling it fast, and then also hear how the organ's cutting in with those really like blocky chords, like just rough chords. Once again, that kind of bluesy progression. This time in C, na 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 na. Yeah, with the fifth kind of like hammering or going like between 6/5, 6/5, 6/5. Sometimes it's like those sustained notes that really get you. It'll just like kind of like rise out of nowhere, and you'll just be like. Now that like guitar seems to be kind of performing this like fuzzy underbelly to his to the vocal cadences. See the mirroring between the two? And the drummer just playing the heck out of this. And the bass, I guess the whole time really just giving us a sonic thickness. Oh, hear those kind of like higher tones in the guitar on some of those notes. Oh, what's creating that sound? Mellotron. Oh, fading, echoey Mellotron. Yeah, that was Emergency with No Compromise, an uncompromising track from their album No Compromise, released in 1974 on Brain. Yes, their fourth and final album. Yeah, written by Berka, Hanus, Berka, and Palmer James. Yeah, Richard Palmer James, the lyricist for King Crimson circa 19... during their larks, during the Bruford, Wetton, Cross era, and also a member of Supertramp for their first album. Knowing that kind of almost makes me want to look up the lyrics to this song, because it's like, you know, a band actually enlists a non-performing lyricist for a reason, usually. Let's see. I come up with a match. It says, I can't guarantee it. I'm not going to bother for now. Anyway, yeah. Who are some of the people that is there anyone I didn't talk about yet? I guess I mentioned all the real standout performers on this, yeah, and what they had done. All I can say is that this band really just knocked it out of the ballpark. And as I said, I almost did Time Can't Take It Away, their cover of the 2066 and Then song from 1972. But because that one has a really like catchy, lavish, theatrical, dynamic chorus, really melodramatic, kind of pained. And then I was like scanning over the reds to this album just in advance, and then I thought, oh, this track here, the title track, just has so much going for it. So covers so much area. I mean, in the space of like 8 minutes and 40 seconds, I mean, we went through just this really like frenetic, melodramatic vocal passage that was almost like kind of just like pulverized by the drumming. We went through, had like just a divine spotlight on each of the soloists, the saxist, the guitarist. We went through kind of a more conventional bluesy section. We went through a very avant-garde, very unique section of just pile-driving drum rolls, spacey intergalactic synths, and just billowing avant sax work. And then bringing it all full circle. Yeah, so much musical interplay, density. At times, impossible to take it apart, and it didn't really matter. You were just like swept along for this chaotic ride. Yes, Emergency, basically an international German-based band, Czech, German, and American talent. Yeah. For more rubies and sapphires from the catalog of Emergency, see the directory of albums by German artists, linked in the description below. For red hot tracks and purples from the 4 Emergency albums, as well as many other like-minded acts from the 1970s as well as the 80s, over 1,100 albums strong currently, all of them Ruby Mine. You go down each page, you see see the red line, queue up some of those to explore some of the finest tracks that the albums have to offer, and then when you want to explore more at your own leisure, go through the purple line and explore some of those tracks as well. You can usually just like highlight, right click, search Google, and the first thing that'll come up in a secondary tab is a YouTube video for the song in question. Yeah, it's that easy. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the track that we just heard, the layers, the density, the interplay, just the glorious, noise and spectacle of it all. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.